Hello gamers and welcome to a preview look at the two new German divisions that will arrive with the Landjut DLC, the West German 6th Panzer Grenadier Division and the 20th Motorised-Schützen-Division for the GDR. 6th Panzergren is supersized, mechanized infantry battle group with substantial West German Navy support, lacking modern armor and artillery. It compensates with plentiful naval infantry and Danish air cover. So here you can read the history. Obviously, everything is still subject to change. Prices, cards per unit, and so on. So let's take a look at the activation slots first. A bit costly. 4 decent slots should be enough. In the logistics tab, infantry super cheap almost till the end. Artillery, 4 decently priced slots, that's fine. Tanks get a bit expensive, but you only have cheap options anyway. But some nice options, as we can see already. Rack and tab is a bit pricey. In particular, there will be quite some nice units, so I think this will be a bit problematic to build. Then the AA drop, you have a lot of slots, also some new units. Helicopters, very, very decent. It's obviously not a helicopter deck, but still. And some cheap air slots as well. So let's take a look at the units. You get the munitions in the M113A1. So slow, but a bit sturdy. You get the trucks with 1,500 supplies. And they are new actually. German Army signature here. So that's quite nice. Then you get a supply helicopter. It's not that useful, I think. Usually. Then you get this. Cheap, 40 points. You get 3 of them. That's a good opener. The helicopters, probably no one will use them. And then you get the Fuchs Commander with smoke and a medium machine gun. 2 on the card only. Quite fast, so this is quite nice actually. And then you get a Felddepot, your forward supply point. Then here you get the HMG. You do not get a grenade launcher, just a medium machine gun. Then you get the Feldjäger, already known, only 4 men, but you get some cool new vehicles here. It's kind of like a Kübel. And then you get this, already known, Volkswagen. So yeah, nice options. No, you should never take this actually. I mean, this is faster off-road, but still, this gives you military police trait. And you get the Panzergrenführer with red eye. So that's actually quite nice. You get 4 cards. That's a lot. Then you get a new unit in the Deckungsgruppe. So it's like basically support fire. And you can bring them in the Marder 1A2 Milan. Quite nice. Autocans, I think, have been nerfed a while back. So they're not as good anymore, but still quite nice with the Milan. And then you get the one without the Marder 1A2. 10 points cheaper and no Milan. Other than that, it's the same. I'd always take the Milan for 10 extra points, I think. And then you get, it's only 1 card. The Deckungsgruppe does have the sniper rifle and 2 sniper rifles and 2 medium machine guns. Basically a G3 modification, sniper modification. So this is a really cool unit, I think. Then you get the Panzervernichtungsgruppe, which I think is new as well. You get 2 Panzerfaust, only 14 penetration, unfortunately, but high accuracy. It's very irritating that this is now green, because it's a very low value. You need to get side shots. Usually, at least, again, you've got the same Marder options, which is nice. And then you get the Panzergrens. And the Panzergrens, 9 men strong, also with the Panzerfaust. They are known, but they don't come in a Marder. They only come in the M113. 2 variants, without and with Milan. You can bring them in a helicopter, which is not the worst option, because this is a helicopter that can actually fight. a little bit. So quite nice, decent range. So you definitely outrange, you know, a G3 or even like a MG. Then you get the Panzergrens, and they do come in the Milan, in the Maras, with Milan or without Milan. Good loadout, 6-man strong, quite nice. So you bring probably a mix of these. Then you get 2 cards of the Heimatjäger Führer with smoke. They have reservists, but they are very beefy. They can kill everything but tanks, unfortunately. But you get 3 leaders, which is very nice. You also get the Heimatjäger with the Carl Gustav M2, so 16 penetration. You have better penetration than the Panzergrens and the designated Panzervernichtungsgruppe. That's a bit weird. And yeah, they can even come in an M113. Then you get this anti-tank recoilless rifle. You get 1 card of the Milan 2. They can come in the 113, the Marder Milan, and then the Fuchs. That's also with the Milan. So that's actually quite nice because it's fast. It has worse optics though, but I think the speed and the price make a good case for this, and you can hide it somewhere, and then you have your 2 rockets, or you bring this and have your autocannon as well against infantry. So this is a nice combo here. This with its unit can be a nice combo, unless you want to go fast in. But I mean the Milan at least is fast as well. The Marder not so much. You get the Pioneer Führer also with the Carl Gustav M2, Pioneer Flamm that can come in the Fuchs. Pioneer Carl Gustav can also come in the Fuchs. And then there's another new unit, the Strandmeister, and they are resolute because it's a marine unit. They have shock, a grenade. Yeah, they are your CQC unit, and they come upvetted already. You can further upvet them. So this is a very nice unit, I think. And I need to switch off my mobile. Okay. Artillery. You get a 120mm mortar, 105mm howitzer, 155mm howitzer, and we will see how this all plays out with the artillery rework. There has just been a post on it, a dev block. Then you get the Panzermörser, 120mm button mobile, which I think is quite cool. It has the same ammunition, so I think this is really cool. The last, I think they will get nerfed, the multiple rocket launchers, and I've never been a big fan of them. And then you get this beast, which I think is nice. You get above your 3 HE. I always check for 3 or more HE value. I heard that once in a guide, so yeah. And then even more HE, but this is only 12 rounds, so not too sure about that one. But yeah, you can go for like the Panzermörser and 1 or 2 cards of these, depending on if you upgrade them or not. And then in 10v10 you can take more artillery as well. Tank tab, you get the Kanonenjagdpanzer, known from Territorial Kommando Süd. You can attach your vehicles, your military police vehicles. You get the Jaguar 1, mediocre stealth, not too bad, with the Hot 1, good range. Jaguar 2 with the Cho 2, even better. And availability almost the same, it's like only 1 less. Then you get the Panzer Leopard, already known. Not the greatest range, not the greatest armor, obviously. Then you get a new variant of the Leopard 1A2A1 for the Germans, and this one is known 1A1A1. If you compare them, the new one has the shittier front armor. It's also a little bit cheaper, but that's the difference basically. I just wonder why it has the higher number, so they maybe started saving money. I don't know. And then the 1A, 1A2, they have a better gun. So as you can see here, better gun, not better range, just more penetration. Recon tab, you get the Green Archer that now has the counter battery radar, which is quite nice, but it went down to good optics. Availability has also been nerfed, as you can see. It's still cheap though, but it's not like a behind the lines, far from the frontline unit, I think. Heimataufklärer, already known, theoretically, I would have thought, but apparently not. 9-man strong, very good recon, exceptional stealth. AT, this is a cool unit to guard your sides. 2 cards, and then you get 2 cards of Aufklärers, which is less people, so yeah. You get the Recon helicopter with very good optics, that's nice. You get a new no, it's actually not a new drone. It's already there in Luftlande. Is it Luftlande? Yeah. A UAV here with good air optics. Then you get a new Recon plane, which looks very good. Exceptional agility. It's not too fast, so quite a cool unit. A bit redundant because you have the UAV and the plane. Then a new unit is the Kampfschwimmer. I wonder why it's not resolute. But it's special forces, so that's good. But why would it not be resolute as a marine unit? Let's check again the Strandmeister. Resolute. They take less suppression in combat. Yeah, but I think commando is like a mixture, right? Where is it? It includes kind of the resolute. Yeah, it takes less suppression. So this is 6-man strong. Also CQC capable. Quite a nice unit. They can come in the Sea King, but the Sea King can't fight. So yeah, you have 2 cards, but only 3 on the card. So already you can see we only have 4 cheap slots. It's going to be problematic to fill that. You probably will spend. You use the third 3 activation point slot as well, the first one. Then you get the looks. All cannon's not that great anymore, I think. And then you get the Iltis Milan, which is cool because it's 4 deployed, and Commando, a new unit here. So you might want to use that to annoy the enemy early on, potentially. AA, lots of cheap slots. You get 20 mil, you get 20 mil twin gun, you get the Bofors, some World War II vintage. You get the shitty Fliegerfaust, 3 cards. You get 2 cards of Gepards, which is nice, mid-range. And then you get the new MFG FRR Roland, which is not quite long range, but it's kind of your long range. It's very mobile, 60% accuracy, so this is actually quite nice, and it has 10 ammunition, so this is really cool. Roland 3. This is very nice. You could even upvet it. It goes up to 65%. It's 6 HE damage, so it needs to hit twice. Aiming time every 10 seconds. Yeah, so probably you need like 2 of them together, upvetted. Take out an airplane reliably. Helicopters, you get the bow with the Hot 1, and this is probably the Hot 2. It is 6, and this is also 6. Yeah, nothing new here. Nice options for cheap. So that's how you can deal with tanks. Then you get some German planes. This is, I think, a Starfighter variant. I'm not quite sure. With an unguided bomber and the Vulcan cannon. You get the Tornado cluster, which tornadoes are quite nice with their 40% ECM. Then you get a Tornado seed plane with anti-radiation missiles, but no electronic warfare equipment. You get the RF-4E, an HE bomber that I think is new. Is that Phantom? I'm not quite sure. Then you get your Danish comrades supply the AA here. The AA planes, you get the F-16A and in two variants. So this one has twice the 9L with 5 damage, and this one has only 4 damage, but you get 4. So this is the deck. I think it's a fun deck. You get lots of decent infantry. You get lots of spammy tanks, and reckon, yeah, you need to invest some points here. Okay-ish AA if you bring enough Rolands, and you can take out tanks with this or with your cluster tornado. So I think this is a deck that you need to play quite aggressively, and then you can have a lot of fun with it, I think. Let me know in the comments what you think of this division, as we are jumping to the 20th Motorised-Schützen Division. This East German motorized division deploys a varied array of mechanized infantry, artillery and T-72 tanks. Soviet armor beefs up the formation's largely reservist core, which I think is an interesting premise. Here you can read that out in your own pace and pause. Okay, let's take a look. Cheap logistics, cheapish infantry. The last slot is expensive, but it's kind of mechanized, so artillery rather cheap, tank quite cheap. Reckon also gets expensive quickly. AA very decently priced with slots, 2 slots only that are a bit costly, and artillery and air. This is not an air division. So you get this Robur, which I think is new, maybe? Or has it been in another division? Just not a GDR one, possibly. You are with 1000 and the Kratz with 2000 supply. And you get this nice, unfortunately bad stealth. But this is your command vehicle for just 40 points. Or you go for this Jeep, which is known. This I think is new as well, SPW 40P2. This looks like a World War II vintage vehicle. But it's quite fast on the road. And you get 3 on the card. And then you get this one, which is, they're both resolute. And this one is already known, bad stealth, but more health. And you get a field depot. Then here you get the medium machine gun. You do get the anti-automatic grenade launchers. You get the Militärstreifen, which is your military police, including a Trabant. I think this is retroactively for these divisions. It might be new. Then you get the Militärstreifen LMG. So this is cool because they don't have security, but they have resolute and they are 7 men strong. So this is quite nice. And they get this cool bus. It says Militärstreife here. This is cool. You get the Sicherungs, which is known. They are with security trade as well. And VPB, that's Volkspolizei, I guess. Also 10 men strong. So you can already see you get some nice spammy infantry. They're not even reservists here. You get the reservist leader with Strela, that's quite nice, and 8 men strong, really, really good. And you get 3 on the card. Then you get the reserve. They all don't have, well, they do have these guys actually come in this. So you have some machine guns. They also get some machine guns. The reservists here as well, well-rounded. Loadout. And these reservists with a medium machine gun here. 6 men only. Then you get the Motorised-Schützenführer, AT and Smoke. Sniper rifle only 4 men, already known unit, as are the Motorschützen. They can come in this SPW as well, but they can also come in this BMP-1 with the tank gun. Motorised-Schützen BTR, they come in this BTR vehicle, quite fast. You get some Soviet Motostrelki, they come in the BMP-1 with a faggot, or they come in the BMP-2 with an autocannon and the better AT missile. I'd go for that, I think. Then you get the Panzerjäger, and they have much better AT loadout. Imagine that the West Germans have like 14 and they have 20. a variety of options, including the BMP-1, so that's quite nice. And you get the Pioneer Führer with 18 AT, the Pioneers, 3 cards, 8 men, already known, the Flamme also known, they have Shock as well, and Resolute. And then you get the SPG-9 AT option, and the Faggot is your only ATGM with only 17. Artillery, you get a 120mm mortar that you can bring them in this, and then you can load and unload them constantly and move them around. Then you get this coffin launcher here that's already known from the 20th Rügener, or not from Rügener Kubrieren, not without 20. 120mm mortar, 152mm mortar, which is the more decent option with regards to damage. The Goswitska, not so great. And then you get this Mehrfach-Raketenwerfer, and you get a napalm. So this can be nice, and you can block roads. So I guess, yeah, this can be nice, but it's also 320 points. Tank tab, you get the Maljutka, only 17 penetration. You get the Concourse, 20 penetration. You get the Puck, AT gun here, which is nice. It's not with like the Rapier with ATGM attached. And you get the T-54. You get the reservist T-54, but it's not with the reservist trait. Maybe that's a bug, I'm not sure. T-55, they are resolute. This one, T-55A, already known. Then you get T-72, already known. T-64, already known. Another T-64 line, that's already known. And the T-64AV, that's also already known with ERA, so you have more hit points, also decent gun, also with regards to range, decent front armor. So yeah, some really nice tanks. You get some heavier tanks, like not the heaviest, but you know, quite the nice combination here, and you get a lot of slots. And you get lots of cheap infantry as well, that's very decent, and with AT capabilities. Rack tab, you get the reservist Aufklärer, they can come in this and swim around as well. Motorised-Aufklärer, they can come in helicopter variants, and they can shoot as well. This one at least, so that's actually nice. And this SPW, already known. Aufklärungs PT-76B, also already known, like a little tank here. And then you get an Aufklärungspanzer, like a BMP or BRM modification with exceptional optics. That is actually worth taking, I think. And you get 4 on the cards. It's only 50 points. That's really nice. And a new unit, the Funkaufklärer. It's a SIGINT unit. So this is really cool. They only come in the helicopter, but the helicopter can fight as well. It's got AT missiles and also air-to-ground rockets. So this is a really cool unit, I think. It's also resolute, and they can defend themselves with Strela missiles. So this is really, really nice. And then you get the Spezialaufklärer, which is not new, but it's cool because it gives you your GSR. It's forward deployed, like airborne deployable. And then Shock Commando, they come in this as well. So you could even upgrade them theoretically. 1 card only. But this is really cool. So you could take this for sure. I think this one for sure. And then you can still take, I don't know, maybe this one with rockets. Yeah, something like that. AA tab. They come in this World War II vintage looking vehicle that also has AA guns mounted on top. So this is actually quite nice. 4 cards. And then 23 mil. And then you get this on the truck. And then you get Iglas. You get Strela Ones. You get the Shilka, more like medium range. You get this Strela, also medium range. And then you get the Coupe M1, which is new, I think, or it's new for them. You get 3, they deal 6 damage. Accuracy is not so great, range is decent. So you can bring 2. Probably should. And pair them as well. Helicopters, you get the Mi-8 TV, already known, does the air-to-ground rockets, and the AT-1 has some anti-tank missiles as well. You only get 1 card of these, and then it's up to you if you want to take those. I usually don't, but yeah, I don't know. Unless they are cheap. Airplanes, you get only like 3 cheap slots. So you get the MiG-21s, kind of a little bit vintage, I think. Air-to-ground rockets, unguided bombs, cluster bombs, and napalm. Cheap napalm fighter with high explosives as well, so not too bad, already known. As is this option. Good against helicopters, with 6 rockets. It's actually quite nice for the early game in particular. And then this one with good range here. 2 rockets have good range. Accuracy ain't great though. And then AT option. You get a seed Su-22, which is nice. Has 40 penetration. No electronic warfare equipment though. And then another Su-22 M4 with unguided bombs and air-to-air missiles as well. So you get quite some nice options here. You probably take something like, I'd probably take the cheap plane, expensive plane, and you only have 1 more. What would you take? Probably the AT plane. I'm guessing. Against some heavier targets. And then potentially the napalm because you can annoy the enemy. Or the seed, maybe. Yeah, so this was an interesting div. Let me know in the comments what you think of this division. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Until then, bye for now.